Hi all and welcome back to Next Stitch Designs with me, Sylvia. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet these super easy and very fast slippers. So for today's slippers, I'll be using Simply Aran yarn. I'll be using 5mm hook. Also, you will need a yarn needle, pair of scissors, a stitch marker, 2 buttons, they are optional, and also it's quite handy to have these clips. If you don't have them, you can use the pegs, and I love this stitch counter. It's so helpful. Also, you will need a tape measure. And we are going to start with the slip knot. Hold your yarn and like so. Wrap it around your 2 fingers and create a cross. Go under this first one, on top of the second one, pull it down and twist your hook. And release. And this is your slip knot. And now we are going to create the chain. Yarn over like so and pull through the loop you had on your hook. Yarn over and pull through like so. And your chain will be as long as you need for your size. So you will chain the chain which will go from the heel to the front of your big toe, as you can see on this short video. And you can add 1 chain in the front and 1 chain at the back for bigger comfort. Once you have your chain prepared, I am going to chain 1 more, and this chain of 1 will be my turning chain. So we are going to work single crochet into this second stage from the hook. Insert your hook like so. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through. And this is your first single crochet. And again into the next one. And you will work 1 single crochet in every stitch across. Okay, so this is my last stitch here, and that's what we have so far. We created first row of single crochet. Chain 1 and turn your work. And we are ready to start row 2. For the row 2, we are going to work into these small horizontal loops. So this is the back of your single crochet, as you can see. So this small horizontal loop is the place where we are going to work single crochet from now on. As you can see, insert your hook from the bottom like so and help yourself with the finger, and it's gonna go much easier. And make sure your single crochet are not too tight, because from now on we'll be working into these small horizontal loops, and it's much easier when your stitches are not tight at all. So work like this from the bottom. Help yourself with your finger and do single crochet all the way across. Once you get to the end, I show you how to finish this row 2. So we are here at the end and we have this tiny little loop, and we are going to place single crochet into that loop like so. Chain 1 and turn your work, and we are ready to start row 3. And make sure your stitches are not too tight. And again, we will work into these tiny horizontal loops. So repeat row 2 and work single crochet under these small horizontal loops all the way across. So work like this until you come to your end. So once we are here at the end, you will work on top of the chain 1 and you will place single crochet like this. Chain 1 and turn your work again. And you can see this ribbing is looking amazing. And again, we will work under these small horizontal loops as we did before. And you are going to work like this for 9 rows. And now the stitch counter is very useful. Or if you don't have it, you can of course use the piece of paper and your pen. And we are going to measure it like this. We are going to measure from the middle toe, and you need to cover your big toe. So we're gonna go from this side and we're gonna get to the top and make sure to cover your big toe. But I will do 9 rows, but if you are using a thicker yarn, you may need less rows. If you are using a thinner yarn, you may need more rows. So, and that's what we are going to do on the other side once we create the middle part. So first we are going to concentrate on this side, then the middle part, and then we are going to finish the other side. So I am on row 4 and altogether I need 9 rows. So simply just work the way we did before and work under these horizontal little loops until you have 9 rows, and then I show you what to do next. So I have just finished my 9 rows and you can see I am in the middle and this is just perfect. It's covering my big toe and it's not stretching too much. So we are good to go to create the middle part now. So make sure to finish like me so the loop is close to your big toe like so, and then we are going to decide how deep we want the front of our slippers to be. So it's up to you. Just make sure you got at least half of the centimeters in the front when you are measuring. So once you have decided how deep you want your slippers to be, for this middle part, simply just place your stitch marker. And we will work from this loop towards to your stitch marker, and then we're gonna finish the middle part. So simply just chain 1 and turn your work. And now we are going to count how many stitches we have from this very first stitch here. Do not count chain 1. Start from this chain 1, 2, 3, and so on until you come to your stitch marker. So simply we are going to do exactly the same what we did for our slipper before, and we are going to start into that very first horizontal loop and we will work all the way across until we come to our stitch marker again. Once you come to your stitch marker, simply just remove it and place your last single crochet into that small horizontal loop, and count how many stitches you got, and you should stay with the same number for this middle part. Okay, so chain 1 and turn your work, and work like this for 6 rows for women's sizes. For men's sizes, 7 rows for the middle part. And it's also handy to have this stitch counter again, or you can just write it down. So simply work your 6 or 7 rows. And remember, I wanted to tell you one more time, once you come to the end, remember to work on top of the chain 1, like so. Chain 1 and turn your work and repeat what we did before, and don't forget to count your rows. Okay, so once you have your 6 rows, or for men's sizes 7 rows, you are going to count how many stitches you have left. So count from the place where you finished, and then you will add 1 more. So for example, if you had 19 stitches left, you will chain 19 and you will add 1 more chain, and that 1 chain will be your turning chain. So simply just chain as many as you need for your size, because it's very difficult to say how many chains, because you may use different yarn or different hook, and also work on the different size. So simply just make sure that both sides are the same once you fold it in half like this. So once you have it done, don't forget to add that 1 more chain, and then 1 chain will be your turning chain. And now we are going to turn our work, and we are going to do single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So simply just insert, yarn over and pull through 2, and that's your first single crochet. So work single crochet all the way across until you come to this point here. Once you come to this point from where was your last stitch, you will simply work your pattern again. So you will work into these small horizontal loops again, like so. Single crochet into those small horizontal loops all the way down. And once you are at the end of this row, you will simply chain 1 and turn your work, and you will continue like this for 9 rows, exactly the same what we did on this first side. Okay, so continue and don't forget to count your rows. So this was my row 1, and I am ready to start my row 2. So do your 9 rows, and don't forget, once you get to the end, you will work into these tiny little loops again. Chain 1 and turn your work and start to work under these small horizontal loops. And don't forget to count your rows. And once you are done, don't forget to work into that chain 1 from the previous row. And before we fasten off, we are going to leave at least 30 to 50 centimeters long yarn end. And now we can fasten off like so. And with that long yarn tail, we will sew our slipper. So prepare your yarn needle and thread that long yarn end like so. Fold your slipper in half, and it doesn't matter which side because both sides are exactly the same. So just make sure they're nicely on top of each other. And now you can use these little clips, or if you don't have them, you can use the pegs. And this will hold your slipper while you sew nicely in place. Okay, so you can use the pegs if you don't have these little clips. So we are going to start in the front. And make sure you won't get tangled because it can be a little bit tricky to work with such a long yarn tail around. So simply just insert your yarn needle like so in the front, close to the edge, and do big stitches like so. They don't need to be very big. I would say about half of the centimeters long stitches. And go all the way around until you come to the other side right here. So you should have something like this. Now we are going to pull this yarn like so to close the front of our slipper. So do your best to close it like this. And now we are going to sew it. So just make sure you will close the gap as good as possible. So once we are done with the sewing in the front of our slipper and the gap is closed completely, do not fasten off because now we are going to sew the bottom of our slipper, and we will work like this and finish the heel later on. So now we are going to sew like so, and you can also sew the way you prefer, but this is just the way I like to sew. So you will sew like this all the way across until you come to the corner right here. So once you come to the corner, remove your clip and just make sure the corners are exactly on top of each other like this, and simply continue. So this is your heel part, and make sure you won't get tangled like me. And just close your heel. Okay, so this is my last stitch here, and you can do 2-3 on top here, because this way your slippers will get much stronger because you will put them on and off many times. So we just want to make sure they will last as long as possible. So just do 2-3 stitches in one place like so. And tie a knot. And you don't need to cut it off, simply just hide it inside your seam, so you don't need to do it later on. And now you can cut it off. And this one, of course, we need to hide it as well with our yarn needle. And this is it. So turn your slipper like so. That's our heel. And you can see the slipper is looking amazing. It's super easy, very quick, and really beautiful. And it's also unisex. So for the last part, we are going to add slip stitching all the way around. So create the slip knot like so. Take it off your hook. Insert your hook somewhere in the middle. Where is your heel seam? And chain 1. And we are going to place slip stitch all the way around. So do slip stitching like this, and this way the top of our slipper will get a little bit tighter and it will look much more neater. So work your way around. You can also use a smaller hook size if you like. So work like this all the way around until you come to the place where you started. And simply just place your last slip stitch somewhere in the middle, chain 1 and fasten off. And don't forget to hide the yarn end inside your slipper. Where is your seam? Okay, so don't forget, hide it like this. Now for the last part, I would like to add 1 or 2 buttons. So I will start with 1 and then I will see. So simply just sew the buttons. If you want, this part is optional. So you can add 1 button or 2 or maybe 3. It's up to you. You can play with your slippers and decide whatever you like. So when I'm sewing my button like this, I like to hide the knot under the button. So I just go around like so 2-3 times, cut your yarn, and then simply create a knot, 1 or 2, and the knot will be hidden under your button so it won't bother you inside your slipper. Okay, So I think I will stay with one button, but you can add 2 or 3. It's your slippers, so you decide whatever you like or prefer. And these are our beautiful slippers. So at the end, I decided to go only with one button. I think they are looking amazing. The bottom seam is really nice looking. You can't even see. The heel is looking great as well. And don't forget to add non-slippery treatment to your slippers because they can be very slippery on the wooden floors. So I also have video about a non-slippery treatment, so please feel free and check my playlist. You will find it 100%. And I hope it will help you a little bit. So if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, don't forget to like it, share it, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel UNISEX Stitch Designs. Thank you very much for watching.